Good day sanibonani ninjani. My name is Umpumelelo Kamshengu Shabalala cha kudwa ngalamavuso umavuso amhlophe oyofisela nakuba kuyena. I'm also known as Umfana Kamshengu. So on today's episode, I just want to make this short sit down. I want to just talk about how much do you actually need in your first month as an ESL teacher when you're coming from South Africa and you're going to work in China. So first of all, I'd just like to maybe explain the differences when it comes to the cities here in China. You'd find there's T1 city, there's T2 cities, and then there's T3 cities, and also T4. Basically, most of the teachers or ESL teachers, being it Americans, South Africans, UK, and so on, it's either you're going to work mostly at T1 cities and T2 cities and a little of T3 cities. I'd be lying if I say I know anyone who has reached maybe T4, and I don't think there's anyone I know in maybe T3 cities. But then, yeah, that's how the setting is here in China. T1 city for people abasase South Africa, just to try and give you like exactly what it kind of means. T1 city in South Africa would be Johannesburg, it would be Cape Town, and it would also be Durban. A T2 city would probably be something like Pretoria, Richards Bay, the smaller cities or towns. Most of the time it's towns in South Africa. So those would be regarded as all T2 cities, like Old Pinetown in Durban. Those would be part of T2. And then T3, obviously, but then when it comes to China, it's quite different. You have T1, you have Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Nane Guangzhou. So these are like the hubs and the biggest cities that are available in China. They are mostly like the economic hubs of the country. So they are quite expensive. Like Irendiakon is expensive. For example, I live like an hour away from Shanghai because I live in a T2 city, which is in Suzhou. I've lived in two districts here, Wujiang and Wuzhong, where I'm currently living right now. But then, yeah, when it comes to how much you're gonna need, firstly for my flight, you're gonna need like between 10 to 15,000 currently. The flights prices range from that at the moment. But then I'm back. So as I was saying, you're just gonna need like between 10 to 15,000 rands for my flight. Maningi ama-flight akusafani during coronavirus where ama-flights were igijima price like 50,000 just to fly into China. So now I say but it's still not as cheap as back in 2019 because in 2019 I think I used like 8,000 or 9,000 to fly from South Africa to obviously China in Shanghai. But then this time around January I paid like it was 12,000 and something. And then my girlfriend paid like maybe 13 something because we booked like in 2 different days. But yeah, we booked the same flights, just different prices because of the days, obviously. So it's also best when you book early, when you know who goes, okay, I'm gonna go on this specific time and day. But then for that, just save 10 to 15,000. If you're lucky, you're gonna get my flight or 9,000, 10,000. 11,000 majority of the time Mawut was book and stuff. But just to be safe, budget's around 15,000 for flights. And that's if you're gonna book from OR Tambo in Johannesburg to wherever you are going here in China. So whether you go Beijing, whether you go Shanghai or whatever airport you're going to, just save around that. If Mklambe you're coming from maybe like Durban, like myself, it's not best to book a flight and go Skyscanner and try put to Durban because it's going to be way more than that. The best thing is just to fly from Durban to Johannesburg using the local airlines, like a separate ticket, and then just buy this ticket you go to Sugekoli to wherever you're going here in China. You're going to pay around Lo Malingi Shoy. And then the second point, when it comes to the food, how much you're gonna need for wood? Like you're probably gonna need like 3,000 kwai at most because Firstly, so you're just gonna buy one part, and you're also gonna buy a blanket. For someone who's new in China, obviously, figure you can't really access the online system. So I was saying isn't online where they are actually cheap, like on Taobao and so on. You're just gonna go to like Artimati or a supermarket close by. Yours will be so obviously by the teachers, unless you have a friend who you're gonna stay close to or work together. Mhlambe ngingakuthengela yena on Taobao, but after that futhi izofika maybe after a few days. So just to buy ingubo, it's gonna cost you like 300 kwai, because it when it comes to Artimati, which are like shops where we normally buy some things. And then you're probably gonna need like 3,000 to 4,000. If we go to two city at most, and maybe T1. T1 is a bit expensive, but I think 3,000 to 4,000 should be enough if we were to, and you're just gonna buy groceries and that's it. Uzoconvert-ke lo 3,000 yen ukuthi uyimalini in South African rands. I just changed to 4,000 RMB yesterday, and it was like 10,000 rands. So just look at it with some 10,000 rands, or 10,000 rands should be enough to sustain ukudla for the first month. And then when it comes to the transport, always try and book, like try and leave the closest to the school. Like yabona nje lapha engikhona ngibuka a streets like opposite, because I'm in the window ekhasini. Opposite is like a building. Some of the teachers actually live there, so just across the street they walk into campus. So always try ukuthola indawo eseduze nesikole where you're just gonna walk to a school and not pay for ODD, not pay for subways and so on. So it's gonna be much more convenient. And another thing, when it comes to renting, this one, it depends on which city you are going to. T1 city is very expensive. My apartment, like a studio apartment, maybe in Shanghai, in Beijing, can cost you like 6,000, 7,000 on average, like a studio apartment. I'm not joking, a studio apartment can cost you 6,000 RMBs. So my convert mali, and you have to times it by 4, because you have to pay 3 months up front of your rent. So that's 6, 12, 18,000 yens, not in rent. Plus only 6,000 40, which is like the deposits in case you break something, non-agent fee and so on. So you need to pay your 6,000 RMB times 4. When you convert this, I don't even want to tell you the price. It's just too much. So that's the downfall of working with T1 City. Unless you're going to negotiate with your school, loan, and then ungakwazi ukuthola indawo cheaper, or isikole masekunika loan, you can pay the school back. Or rather, if the school actually provides accommodation for you, ungakwazi ukuthi uhlale kuleso sikole for free and actually pay nothing. And the second thing is, when you live in a T2 city, like myself, I've been living in T2 cities ever since I came in China from 2019. At most, like the first time I got here, I was paying 2.5 kwai. 2,500. I remember I used some of the money because I had like 20,000 when I came here. I converted it. I think I just bought things, food, and then the school gave me a loan. The amount that was outstanding, because I also used some of the rents and converted them and paid for your rent. So you're gonna need like imali for your rent. When it comes to T2 cities, it's always gonna be like 2,300 up until 3,000, 4,000 RMB at most. For someone who just lives outside the Suzhou, even currently I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, has a balcony, comes with everything, furniture and stuff. Just pay 2,900 RMB for this 2-bedroom. Previously it was a 1-bedroom in a dining sitting room, balcony, comes with furniture, Wi-Fi, and I was paying like 2.5. So you can see the difference. You get a full apartment in a T2 city with way less money compared to what you would pay in Beijing and Shanghai. So that's another thing you need to know and look at. So obviously 2,500 RMB times 4. That's how much you want to pay. So Lomal, I'm just going to write it and convert it in rands and just put it here on the screen. Same as currently I'm paying 2,900. Obviously I'm going to convert that and times it go 4. And then you're going to see how much you're going to need if you don't want to take your apartment, provide the school, or you want to live from your own in pockets on the mad shoot. This is how much you can budget when it comes to a T2 city and you want maybe a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom apartment. So in the next episode, I will be explaining like ukudla, how much you gonna use on a monthly basis when you're accustomed to the place. So uyakwazi ukuthi this is where you're gonna request, this is where you're gonna take a subway, this is where you're gonna go out different places, and also do watch other videos where I explore some nice places, especially here in Suzhou. And I'm obviously gonna travel more because the last time I was here was a lockdown and during the corona stuff, so I wasn't able to travel and see other provinces. But do remember to like, subscribe. I'm gonna try by all means to try and explore more provinces, different places, and try and learn more about China, and also give out the information nanokuthi my fellow South Africans who wish to work in this lovely country can also come and embark on a journey. And in Ngabuza no Mayin, free advice, free information. I'm always here. Peace.